Welcome back, listeners, to another cosmic adventure. Now, we're usually all about diving deep into a single source, but today, get ready for a rapid-fire round of fascinating space facts.
50 of them, to be precise.
That's right, 50 stellar facts that are sure to amaze even if you think you know your stuff when it comes to the universe.
We're talking mind-boggling comparisons, unexpected discoveries.
Oh, and get ready for some serious, how is that even possible moments. For example, we all know Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, right?
Right.
So logically, it's got to be the hottest. Yeah.
Well,
Nope. Venus is actually way hotter, even though it's farther away. Expert speaker, what's the deal with that?
it's all about the atmosphere. Venus has this incredibly dense atmosphere packed with carbon dioxide, which traps heat like nobody's business.
Like a runaway greenhouse effect?
Exactly. It's a runaway greenhouse effect, with surface temperatures reaching a scorching 462 degrees Celsius.
Wow. That's hot enough to melt lead. Makes you really appreciate our own planet's delicate balance a bit more, huh?
Absolutely. Venus serves as a pretty stark warning about what can happen when things go out of whack.
Okay, let's cool things down a bit and hop over to our red neighbor, Mars. I mean, who isn't fascinated by the red planet, the possibility of life, the rovers exploring its surface? What's one Martian fact that would blow our minds if we could stand there ourselves? Expert speaker.
How about a mountain 3 times taller than Mount Everest?
Seriously?
Oh yeah, Olympus Mons, a massive volcano, takes the crown as the highest peak in our solar system.
Olympus Mons. I'm adding that to my list of must-see cosmic destinations. But speaking of Mars, didn't they say you'd be lighter there?
You would. Mars has lower gravity, so a 100-kilogram person on Earth would only weigh about 40 kilograms on Mars.
I could finally dunk a basketball. Okay, I'm kidding. Sort of. But seriously, that must make things pretty interesting for designing missions and rovers, right?
It poses a unique set of challenges for sure. Everything from how rovers move to how humans might adapt to long-term exposure to lower gravity needs to be considered.
It's amazing how something like gravity can have such a huge impact. Speaking of which, let's jump over to a place where gravity seems to have taken a break, our moon. You know those iconic footprints left by the Apollo astronauts? They say those could outlast human civilization itself. How's that even possible?
The moon has no atmosphere to speak of, so there's no wind or weather to erode anything. Those footprints are basically frozen in time.
That's wild. Imagine, traces of our presence etched on the lunar surface for millions, billions of years. It really makes you think about the legacy we leave behind, right?
It does. It speaks to the enduring power of exploration and how even our small steps can have a lasting impact.
From footprints that last forever to a planet that's always losing its well, not hair dot rings.
Right.
Saturn. I gotta say, expert speaker, Saturn's rings have always kind of hypnotized me.
They are mesmerizing.
But do you ever get the feeling you don't really grasp how massive they are?
It's hard to wrap your head around. Imagine this. If you could drive across Saturn's rings at, say, 70 miles an hour,
Okay, Cosmet road trip. I'm in.
it would take you 258 days to get to the other side.
No way.
Non-stop driving.
I might need to pack some snacks for that one. So what are those massive rings even made of?
Mostly ice and rock particles. A cosmic debris disk spanning millions of miles. But get this, some of those particles are as small as dust grains,
And others.
as big as houses.
Talk about a wide range of sizes. But, you know, while we're on the topic of giants, we can't forget Jupiter, king of the planets. And it's got quite the entourage, doesn't it?
You're talking about its moons.
Yeah. Jupiter's moon system is off the chart. What was it, like 79 moons? And they're not just boring old space rock.
No, definitely not. One of them, Ganymede, is actually bigger than the planet Mercury.
Wait, hold up. A moon bigger than a whole planet? That just seems unfair.
And that's not all. Ganymede has its own magnetic field, which hints at a molten core. There could even be oceans of liquid water beneath its surface.
Okay, now that's just showing off. A moon with its own oceans. That's insane. But while we're talking moons, there's this one that's kind of a rebel Triton. It orbits Neptune, but get this, dot backward.
Yes. Triton's retrograde orbit?
Ah.
Bit of a black sheep in the solar system. It's on a collision course with Neptune, actually.
Whoa. Collision course. Like, how long do we have? Should we be worried?
Millions of years, don't worry. But when it happens, spectacular. Astronomers believe it'll create a ring system even more impressive than Saturn's.
So Triton's loss is our solar system's gain. That's one way to look at it, I guess. But this whole cosmic dance of creation and destruction, it's mind-blowing, isn't it?
It is, and it reminds us that the universe is constantly evolving, changing on scales we can barely comprehend. Speaking of which, Are you ready to leave our solar system behind for a bit?
Lead the way, expert speaker. Hit me with some of those mind-blowing facts from the farther reaches of space. I'm talking Milky Way and beyond.
Okay, buckle up. We're about to journey through distances so vast, they're measured in light years.
Light years, as in the distance light travels in a year.
That's right. And just across our own galaxy, the Milky Way, it would take over 100,000 years traveling the speed of light.
The 100,000 years just across our own galaxy makes you feel incredibly small, you know? But also kind of connected to something much, much bigger. And with all that space out there, all those stars, it's hard to believe we're really alone, isn't it?
It is a question that has fascinated humanity for as long as we've looked up at the stars. Are we alone in the universe? And while we don't have a definitive answer, the sheer scale of the cosmos makes it seem unlikely.
Right. Statistically, the odds are in favor of something else being out there. But hey, until we find them, we've got plenty to keep us busy right here in our own cosmic backyard. Speaking of which, I stumbled upon something called the Black Arrow while we were getting ready for today. Sounds like a weapon from a sci-fi movie.
The Black Arrow was actually a British rocket, part of their early space program back in the 1960s.
A British rocket, huh? Who knew? It's amazing how many countries have contributed to our exploration of space. It's a truly global effort. But you know what really blew my mind during my research? There's this signal, right? And they think it was sent before Earth even existed.
You're talking about the signal detected in 2016. Incredibly faint, incredibly distant.
Yeah, that one. Like, how is that even possible?
Calculations suggest it originated roughly 5 billion years ago. Before our sun, our planet, everything we know.
A signal from before the Earth. So what are we thinking? Alien civilization sending out an SOS. Or maybe like an echo from the Big Bang.
It's still a mystery. Some astronomers believe it could be related to the Big Bang, a remnant of the early universe. Others speculate it could be evidence of advanced civilizations that existed billions of years ago.
Okay, now that's just giving me chills. A message from a long-gone civilization or a whisper from the very beginning of time. It's incredible to think about. And it just goes to show how much we still don't know. It's amazing, isn't it? All those signals, messages from the past, still traveling through space.
And who knows what else is out there, just waiting to be discovered. As we develop new technologies, we're bound to uncover even more secrets the universe has been keeping.
Speaking of secrets, get ready for this one, because I came across a fact that absolutely floored me. Are you ready for this?
Hit me with it.
There are more stars in the observable universe than grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth.
It's almost impossible to imagine, isn't it? It really puts things into perspective.
That's an understatement. It's like we're just this tiny speck in this vast, incredible expanse. It makes you feel small, but also kind of connected to everything.
Exactly. That feeling of interconnectedness, that's one of the things that I find most amazing about studying the universe.
Me too. It makes you wonder, though, if there are other civilizations out there looking up at their night sky, are they asking the same questions we are?
It's a question that has haunted us for centuries, hasn't it? Are we alone? And it's a question that continues to drive our exploration of the cosmos. The search for extraterrestrial life, for example, it's about so much more than just finding aliens.
It's about understanding our place in the universe, figuring out if there's other life out there.
And who knows what we might discover along the way.
That's the beauty of it, right? The universe is full of surprises. Well, expert speaker, we've reached the end of our cosmic journey for today. 50 stellar facts. We covered a lot of ground.
We did. It was a blast.
Out of all those amazing facts, is there one that really stuck with you?
That's a tough one. I think for me, it's the idea that when we look at those distant stars, we're seeing light that has traveled for thousands, even millions of years to reach us.
Wow.
We're not just looking at stars, we're looking back in time.
A cosmic time machine. I love it. Well, on that note, we'll wrap things up here. Expert speaker, always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through the cosmos.
Anytime.
And listeners, keep looking up, keep those questions coming, and most importantly, never stop exploring. We'll catch you on the flip side for another deep dive.